Hey guys, I want to make a video here. I'll try and keep it brief, under 10 minutes. This is my FBI file. I obtained it from the New Haven FBI through the Freedom of Information Act. I got the information on how to do that from the American Civil Liberties Union, and you can do the same thing. Here on this email here, we're on page 30. This is a communication between Alix Skelton, that's her name blocked out right there, Special Agent Alix Skelton. She sent emails to the New Haven Bureau, and I had contacted Special Agent Skelton and I provided her with information all about the moon base, teleportation technology. Planes never crashed on 9/11. That's Flight 93 landed in Cleveland, Ohio on September 11th, 2001. The passengers entered the NASA Glenn Research Aircraft Hangar where they were interviewed by the FBI. Robert Mueller was director. The caskets in Aurora were empty. And the mass shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, but here they make a typo. They call Sandy Hook High School. It's Sandy Hook Elementary School. And you can see here Agent Skelton, her name is blacked out, forwarded the emails that I sent to her. One of the reasons I contacted Agent Skelton had to do with her investigation of a man named Mike Lombardo. I'll turn this around so you can see me. It had to do with a man named Mike Lombardo, who Agent Skelton investigated back in 2012. Mike is currently serving a 5-year prison sentence in Fort Dix, New Jersey, for child pornography charges. He's a graduate of the Berklee College of Music. He was a musician, and he was very popular on YouTube several years ago. And he was associated with Hank Green of the Vlog Brothers. Hank Green also owns Vidcon. Vidcon was purchased by Viacom. Viacom is owned by Sumner Redstone, or controlled by Sumner Redstone, through his company National Amusements, which is headquartered in Massachusetts. National Amusements is the parent company for CBS and Viacom. As you know, Leslie Moonves, the former CEO of CBS, was ousted from his position because he was sexually harassing female employees. So Hank Green distanced himself from Mike Lombardo when these charges came up. Some of the girls that Mike was exchanging emails with were 16, 17 years old. I think there was about 50 females that were emailing Mike, and they were sending him explicit images of themselves. There was no physical contact that I'm aware of. He wasn't charged with having sex with an underage girl, just simply exchanging images over the internet. And it was Special Agent Alix Skelton had investigated him. I just want to put this out there for people to know. I'll include a link in the description to the statement by Hank Green on his Tumblr account, where he distances himself from Mike Lombardo, which I think was a really cowardice thing to do. Hank Green owned DFTBA Records, and that's what Mike Lombardo was putting his music out through them. You know what happened recently with Brett Kavanaugh, who's now on the Supreme Court, was accused of raping a woman in high school, and Brett Kavanaugh made it up to the Supreme Court with the help of President Trump and senators on the Judiciary Committee. I had emailed every member of the Senate Judiciary Committee about 2 weeks ago. I informed each and every one of them in my letter that there was no shooting at Sandy Hook Elementary School, that the school was closed, and I also informed them that Flight 93 landed in Cleveland, Ohio. The passengers entered the NASA Glenn Research Aircraft Hangar where they were interviewed by the FBI. And this is the same information I provided to Special Agent Skelton back in 2012, and she did nothing with it other than forward it to the New Haven Bureau. I filed a complaint the other night with the New Haven office because it was the FBI that contacted the Portland Police Department back in April of 2013, and the FBI told the Portland Police to arrest me, stating that I was mentally ill. And it was Special Agent, or Agent in Charge rather, she was Agent in Charge of the New Haven Division. Her name is Kimberly Mertz, and Kimberly is no longer working with the FBI. I think she retired in 2004. She now works for a company in New York, Brookfield Property Partners. I think that's kind of interesting. Brookfield Property Partners. My name is Kevin Perfield, and I was born in Brooklyn. I'm sure Kimberly read my file quite a bit. We also share initials, Kimberly Mertz, KM, and my name is my full name is Kevin Michael, KM, and then Perfield. I contacted several senators about Kimberly and her behavior, in addition to contacting the New Haven Bureau and complaining because I was abused by the Portland police when they came out to my house at the request of the FBI. Detective Tony Harris of the Portland Police Bureau, along with two other detectives, who knocked on my door while I happened to be on the phone with Rabbi Shaul Praver in Newtown, Connecticut. Disconnected the call and went to the door and saw three detectives there with handguns. Detective Harris said that he was in charge, and then the other, I guess he was a detective, who was kind of a fat man, said that they were going to break all the windows in my house unless I spoke with them and told them who I'd been emailing and calling in Newtown. And I didn't want them breaking the windows in the house, so I said, I'll meet you at Starbucks tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. And when I went to Starbucks the next day and sat outside, they never showed up. And the next day I was arrested and never read my Miranda rights and put into jail for 2 months. So here's a real quick look. This is Alix Skelton, Special Agent. And then this is Kimberly Mertz. She works for Brookfield Property Partners. Okay. Maybe you guys might want to contact Hank Green and let him know that you think that Mike Lombardi was treated very unfairly. And why is it that Brett Kavanaugh gets put on the Supreme Court after he is accused of raping a woman, and all Mike Lombardi did was exchange images with some girls, young girls who were sending him images, probably first. I don't think Mike deserved to be put in prison. He's still in prison. So, anyways, thanks for watching.